Welcome. I am Mary Beth Kosmeski, and I am a professor of marketing here at Oklahoma State University, and I'm teaching a course called Principles of Marketing. So we're going to go over what I think is a really important concept of marketing, and that is that most people think that marketing is what it actually isn't. If you think of marketing, you think, well, it's advertising, it's promotion, it's sales, and actually marketing is those things, but marketing is much more. Marketing is the most vast, the richest topic in all of the business school because there are so many layers of marketing. And it starts with, we've got marketing communications and content marketing, and we've got promotions, and we've got brand marketing, brand management, and then it goes to social media marketing, digital marketing, and even on the analytics side. So we've got the creative side and the analytics side. The analytics side is, well, it's marketing research and marketing analytics and even supply chain, the distribution. All of those things fall under marketing. And so I think that there's been a big misconception into what marketing is. We are going to learn marketing the way that it actually is. Now, there's lots of definitions of what marketing is, but I think one of the best definitions is that it's just the effort to produce products and services and get people interested, customers and clients interested in those products and services. And that's what marketing does. So there's all sorts of big, long definitions that we'll go through in this course, but that is really it. It's the art of attracting our customers and clients to our products and services. So if you think about the foundation of marketing, there is a foundation that we're going to go through throughout this entire class, and it's sort of the outline of what we're going to talk about. There are 6 P's of marketing. So when I first went to college a long time ago, we had 4 P's of marketing. We have advanced marketing, and now we have 6 P's of marketing. So we have product, price, place, promotion, and now we've added process and people. And all of those things together, you may not think individually are marketing, but together they are marketing. I want to take a little left turn right now and tell you about marketing outcomes. Because when we look at marketing, what are we actually trying to do? We're trying to get a specific set of outcomes. Perhaps it's to sell more, perhaps it's to distribute more, perhaps it is to promote better in order to be more profitable. We've got outcomes. But one of the biggest and best outcomes that I think we have is the way that we look at the perception that people have about a product or a service. And so the left turn comes into, I want to ask a question. How many of you are fans? Fans of a football team, a basketball team, fans of, it could be a sport, it could be a musical band, could be a clothing brand. Are you a fan? And when you think about, I'm a fan of this, why are you a fan of one of those particular things that you're a really big fan of? And by the way, when we're sports fans, we're really, really fans. Like, we cry when our team loses. Who cries when their team loses? Adult people cry when their teams lose. That's what it is to be a fan. And we also cheer and do things that we would never do in the course of business or in the course of just sitting in a classroom. As we think about this idea of being a fan, I want you to think of why you're a fan, because now we're getting to something that's really deep into marketing. So I'm a fan of the Green Bay Packers. Now, you say, well, why are you a fan of the Green Bay Packers? Well, there is one reason that I'm a fan of the Green Bay Packers, and it is my red-haired grandmother. So my grandmother was the most important person in my life. Now, let me tell you why. I was her firstborn grandchild. How many of you are firstborn grandchildren? Yeah. Well, what do you get as a firstborn grandchild? You get everything. And that's what I got from this woman. I got all of her time, her attention, her focus. When I was with Grandma, it was all about me. And I can't tell you, I thought when I was growing up that every relationship I would have would be all about me because that was the relationship that I had with my grandmother. I've been married to my husband for 30 years, and quite frankly, it's never been all about me, which I guess is okay. So if you think about, why am I a Green Bay Packers fan? Because my grandmother loved her firstborn grandchild very much. The other thing that she loved very much, and I don't know why, is the Green Bay Packers. My first memory is sitting on my grandma's lap watching the Packers play football. And this woman would school me in the rules and the positions and the players and the teams and the calls the referees were making at halftime of every game that we watched together. She would hand me a piece of paper and a pen and say, "It's pop quiz time." And then she would make me break down the offense and the defense from the first half of the game. And I thought it was normal. Like I thought other little girls were doing this with their grandmothers every Sunday. Probably not the case. But listen, when I go to Lambeau Field and get lucky enough to go to Green Bay, freeze, and go watch a football game, when I walk into Lambeau Field, who is it all about? What is it all about? It's all about my grandma. It doesn't matter if they win or they lose. It doesn't matter what crazy quarterback we have on the field. What matters is that it makes me feel differently. It makes me think about this most important person in my life. And if you think about that, why are we fans? Because it's the way that it makes us feel. And every fan has a story. Somebody is not a big fan and says, I just woke up one day and decided to become a Green Bay Packers fan. No, there's always a story behind it. And the way it makes you feel is the tie-in to marketing. Because ultimately what we are trying to do in marketing, we are trying to have people feel a certain way about a product or a service. To feel a certain way like you do in a relationship for a product or a service. And you think about things like your Apple phone or other products that you might really have an affinity for. Why? Because it does all these things and you just love it and it's part of your life. And it's not the same as loving your grandmother and it's not the same as loving your sports team, but it's the kind of thing that we try to do in marketing. It's one of the ultimate outcomes is to get someone to feel differently about a product or a service. That, at the end of the day, is one of the best outcomes that we can have. More fans, more loyalty, more profitability, more sales. That is at the end of the day what we are trying to do in marketing. Now, as we go through the semester, we're going to learn all sorts of things about marketing. But what I want you to know from this very start is that marketing is probably not what you think it is. If you thought it was about pricing and distribution, and you thought it was about analytics and research, you probably didn't. But now you will, and we're going to go through and learn every aspect of every single kind of marketing as we go through this semester, and by the time you're done, you will know that marketing is not what you thought it was.